My parents charged me interest on the college tuition I paid myself, claiming they co-signed emotionally. While funding my sister's 80K yoga retreat in Bali, the IRS got involved. So my parents actually sent me a bill for emotional co-signing interest on the college tuition I paid entirely myself, claiming they deserved 8% compounded annually because they emotionally supported my education. Meanwhile, they just dropped $80,000 on my sister's 6-month yoga retreat in Bali. Then the IRS got involved and their whole world came crashing down. I'm Daniel, 30, male, and this happened 2 years ago. But the consequences are still unfolding. My family was textbook delusional middle-class entitlement. 2 kids, parents who genuinely believed they were upper class despite living paycheck to paycheck, and a favoritism dynamic that defied all logic. My sister Ashley, 27, female, has been the family's spiritual princess since she was old enough to claim she had a sensitive soul. Mom and Dad treated her like a delicate flower. I was the practical one, which apparently meant I needed no support, no encouragement, no investment. Growing up, Ashley got every enrichment opportunity my parents could afford and several they couldn't. Equestrian lessons starting at age 8, for $100 per month plus equipment. Pottery classes at the local art center, $200 per session. A semester at a creative homeschool collective. When she decided regular middle school was too stressful, $6,000. She had a meditation coach by age 14. I got a library card and was told to be self-sufficient. When it came time for college, the difference was breathtaking. I wanted to study engineering. Got accepted to State University with a partial scholarship that covered about 40% of tuition. The remaining cost was around $18,000 per year. I asked my parents for help. Dad sat me down with this serious expression and explained that they believed in earning your way. Said they'd cover incidentals and small expenses, but couldn't take on tuition costs. Mom added that they wanted me to value my education by paying for it myself. I worked through college like my life depended on it. 2 jobs sophomore through senior year. Worked summers as a construction laborer. Brutal physical work at $16 per hour. During school, I worked at the engineering library 25 hours a week and tutored math on weekends. 3 roommates in a 2-bedroom apartment, $325 per month for my share. Ate ramen, rice and beans, peanut butter sandwiches. Took out loans for the rest. Graduated with $52,000 in debt and a mechanical engineering degree. Ashley graduated high school the same year I graduated college. She decided she wasn't ready for college yet. Needed to find herself first. My parents fully supported this. She spent a year traveling around the country to various spiritual retreats, yoga intensives, and self-discovery workshops. They paid for everything. Probably $25,000 over that year. When she finally decided to attend college, she chose a private liberal arts school in Oregon that specialized in holistic education. $52,000 per year for tuition, room, and board. My parents took out Parent Plus loans to cover everything. She graduated in 5 years with a degree in integrative wellness studies, which is exactly as useless as it sounds. Meanwhile, I was working 60-hour weeks during my first engineering job to aggressively pay down my student loans. Got hired at a manufacturing company straight out of college, $58,000 starting salary. I paid off my $52,000 in student debt in 4 years. Then I started building real savings. By the time I was 28, I had $40,000 in savings, a 401k my employer matched, and 0 debt. That's when my parents decided I owed them money. Mom called one Sunday afternoon and asked if I could come over for dinner that Tuesday. Said she and Dad wanted to discuss something important. I went. Arrived to find Ashley already there, sitting at the kitchen table looking serene in her flowing linen outfit. She'd just gotten back from a 3-week silent meditation retreat in Sedona, and kept making comments about how grounded she felt. Dad had the briefcase out, which was never a good sign. After about 20 minutes of small talk, Dad cleared his throat. "Daniel, we wanted to discuss some financial matters with you." He opened the briefcase, pulled out a folder. Inside were spreadsheets, calculations, and what appeared to be a formal letter on his business letterhead. He ran a small accounting firm. "When you attended college, your mother and I provided significant emotional and logistical support for your education," he started. "We co-signed emotionally for your educational journey. which represented substantial value that you've never acknowledged. I literally laughed out loud. Co-signed emotionally? Dad, you didn't co-sign anything. You explicitly told me you wouldn't help with tuition. We supported you in countless intangible ways, Mom said quickly. Phone calls during stressful exam periods. Listening to you talk about your classes. Allowing you to come home during breaks. Maintaining family stability so you had a foundation to lean on. You let me come home for Christmas. That's not financial support. Dad pushed the spreadsheet toward me. The spreadsheet was insane. He'd assigned dollar values to things like emotional support during finals weeks, $2,400 per year. Family home access during breaks, $4,800 per year. Phone availability for stress management, $1,200 per year. Maintenance of family stability, $3,600 per year. Total per year $12,000. Over 4 years $48,000. But it got worse. He'd applied 8% compounded annual interest from each year of college to the present. The total he was demanding was $94,728. You want me to pay you $94,728, I said slowly. For the privilege of being allowed to call you during college? We provided value. That value has accumulated interest. As a successful professional now, we believe you should compensate us for our contribution to your success. My success is from my work. You explicitly refused to help. Ashley was nodding along like this made perfect sense. The same Ashley who'd never paid for anything in her life. Does Ashley owe you anything? I asked. The silence was familiar. Ashley's situation is different, Mom said. We made different choices about how to support each of you. Speaking of Ashley, Dad said, she has an opportunity we wanted to discuss. There's a 6-month yoga teacher training program in Bali. Top-tier instructors, certification from a prestigious wellness institute. It would launch her career as a wellness coach. How much? I asked, though I already knew. $80,000, Mom said, including travel, accommodation, training, and living expenses. So they were demanding $94,000 from me, while simultaneously planning to spend $80,000 on Ashley to learn yoga in Bali. The audacity was almost impressive. I'm not paying you anything. Ever. Daniel, this is about respecting what we contributed. You contributed nothing financially. By your own explicit statement, you said earning my way was important. I earned it. Done. I stood up to leave. Dad got angry. You will not walk out of this house without acknowledging what we did for you. Watch me. I walked out. The calls started immediately. Voicemails about responsibility and family. Text messages with revised payment plans. Compromise offers down to $50,000, then $30,000. I blocked their numbers. Ashley went to Bali 3 weeks later. Started posting daily content. Sunrise yoga poses on cliffs. Meditation by infinity pools. Aesthetic photos of vegan smoothie bowls. Captions about finding her authentic self and being grateful for the universe's abundance. The universe's abundance was my parents' second mortgage. I found out later they'd refinanced the house specifically to fund Ashley's Bali adventure. Took out an additional $90,000 in equity. The math didn't add up though. $80,000 for Ashley plus paying down their car loan plus some credit card debt, still left about $20,000 unaccounted for. Then my mom's sister, Aunt Karen, called me. We weren't super close, but she'd always been kind to me. Daniel, I need to tell you something. Your dad asked me to help him with something for his accounting firm. He wanted me to sign as a contractor on some 1099 forms. Claimed it was a tax structuring strategy. Aunt Karen didn't work for his firm. Had never worked for his firm. Was a retired schoolteacher. He offered me $2,000 to sign the forms. Said I just needed to claim $20,000 in contractor income that he could write off. That it was completely legal and just standard accounting practice. It was absolutely not legal. It was tax fraud. I told him no, but Daniel, I'm worried. He seemed desperate. Like he really needed to make this work for some reason. I started thinking about it. Dad's accounting firm had been struggling for years. He had fewer and fewer clients. Mom had mentioned more than once that the firm wasn't doing as well as Dad pretended. They just refinanced for $90,000 to fund Ashley. They were demanding $94,000 from me. They were broke. Worse than broke. I called my cousin Mike, who's a CPA in another state. Told him everything. Asked him hypothetically what someone could do if they suspected tax fraud. Document everything. If you have actual evidence, the IRS has a whistleblower program. They pay rewards for information that leads to recovered taxes. I don't want money. I just want this to be handled. You can report anonymously. Form 3949A. I thought about it for a week. They tried to extort $94,000 from me. They were funding Ashley's vacation while pretending I owed them. Dad was apparently asking relatives to participate in fraud. I filed the report. Documented Aunt Karen's statement, with her permission, my dad's known business practices, the timing of various income claims he'd made versus actual money movement in the family. Provided everything I knew. The IRS doesn't move fast, but they move thoroughly. 8 months later, my dad's accounting firm got audited. Then his personal taxes. Then my mom's. Then they discovered that Ashley had been filing as a business consultant for Dad's firm for years, claiming income she never received and getting tax refunds based on fake business expenses. The whole family business structure was a fraud scheme. Dad had been generating fake income for Ashley to qualify her for various benefits and to move money around for tax purposes. He'd been writing off personal expenses as business expenses, including Ashley's various spiritual journeys claimed as business research. The Bali Yoga Retreat, claimed as a $80,000 business expense for international wellness market research. The IRS does not find that funny. Total assessed back taxes plus penalties plus interest came to about $340,000. They didn't have it. The accounting firm was shut down. Dad lost his CPA license. He'd been practicing fraudulently for years. The house went into foreclosure. The IRS placed liens on everything. Ashley got pulled into it too because she'd signed tax returns claiming income she didn't earn. Her wellness coaching business she'd been trying to start after Bali was killed before it began because she had federal tax liens on her. Within a year of their original demand for $94,000 from me, they'd lost everything. House, cars, retirement, professional licenses. Dad faced criminal charges that eventually got pleaded down to civil penalties, but he can never practice accounting again. Mom got a job as a receptionist at a dental office, $18 per hour. The first real job she'd held in 25 years. Ashley moved back home, except there was no home anymore. They were in a 700-square-foot apartment, all three of them, sleeping in shifts because there weren't enough beds. The family blamed me, of course. Word got around that I'd reported them. I never confirmed or denied it. Aunt Karen knew the truth, supported my decision, but never told anyone else. Meanwhile, I got married last year to my long-term girlfriend Sarah. We bought a beautiful house. I got promoted twice. Currently making $142,000 per year. Sarah's pregnant with our first kid. Life is good. I didn't invite my parents or Ashley to the wedding. Didn't tell them about the pregnancy. They'll never meet my child. Some people think I went too far with the IRS report. That I should have just walked away. But here's the thing. They were going to keep doing it. To other relatives. To clients of Dad's firm. The fraud was systemic and ongoing. And they thought they could come after me for invented emotional interest on tuition I paid myself. They wanted to play accountant with my life. I let them feel what real accounting consequences look like.